sympathetic to the African cause to liberate their country, for he had relatives in Ireland who had spent their lifetimes resisting the English rule and demanding their land back. Another warning was delivered a week later, this time containing a more ominous warning. "We know what you are doing under the cover of darkness. We shall come for your head." This second letter was unsigned, and Turnbull thought no further about it. He simply crumpled the paper and hurled it into the fire with philosophical contemplation. "Those intent on killing don't go around talking about it. They do it. If they want me, they will find me." That day, Turnbull gave a moving sermon before a group of 7 young women and 2 boys, elaborating on Jesus' travails in the wilderness, which lasted a whole 40 days and nights, but presaged his redemption and everlasting life. To climax the sermon, Turnbull asked, as he always did, if there was anyone in the congregation who wanted to commit their life to Jesus. A young woman rose to her feet, followed by a second, then a third, until all 7 female congregants were on their feet. The Reverend was beside himself with happiness. He gave all of the women hearty hugs to receive them in Christ's communion. He said, each hug lasting longer than the previous one. The assembled women then broke into a song that Turnbull joined with unalloyed joy. "Mwadhane wa kwanja kanera tawa, yumito dudane ndomanene, bere shororo e hana mageha, koreadu yakwa e jeterere." Lord, light my way. I am pursued by impenetrable darkness. Ahead lie shadows darker than the rocks where my enemies lurk. Turnbull wore a big grin as he continued to receive the new converts, even as his thoughts wandered to that maiden ride on the train and the lie about Nakuru as his Nineveh mission, upon which he founded his church. He embraced the next convert absent-mindedly, distracted by his memories. The 2 remained locked in an embrace as the singing continued a bit longer before abruptly ending. Turnbull had slumped to the ground, with blood oozing from his chest. The faithful wailed in flight as Turnbull's attacker, a man who had been disguised as a woman, brandished his weapon and chanted, "Mzungu arudi kwao, Mwafrika apate uhuru." Turnbull's wide-brimmed hat was still on his head, somewhat tilted as though to shield him from the sun. His trousers still squeezed in his socks. Even in that state, the Reverend seemed full of life, his eyes staring intently at the blue sky. But for the single fly that buzzed around his open mouth, lured by the dried blood from his chest, one would have thought he was asleep.
Thank you very much, John.